You're watching Keystone Science. Well, sort of, you're watching Keystone Science on another channel. And in today's episode, we're going to show you how to make your very own tactile taser glove. So here are the materials you'll be needing. First off, a boost converter. I picked this up off of eBay for a couple of bucks. Second, you'll be wanting a 9-volt battery terminal. You can either buy this off of someplace like eBay or Amazon, or you can get one of these dead 9-volt batteries, take it apart, and then just take off the terminal off the top like I did. You'll need a gardening glove such as this. The more rubber, the better. And you'll need a momentary switch. This I salvaged from a microwave oven. However, you can also purchase these. Now we're going to be taking that battery terminal and soldering a red wire to this side on this metal pad back here, and a brown wire to this side. Okay, let's go ahead and clip this onto here. And let's put a pad of solder on each of these terminals. Now let's go ahead and solder the brown wire over here to the other side. Alright, so now that we've got that battery terminal soldered up, apply some hot glue to the back of the battery terminal like this. Just a little bit will do. Just make sure to cover up the terminals so they don't ever short circuit. Just like this. Go ahead and take your momentary switch and solder some wires to it. Make sure that the wires are long enough because they're going to need to be going a ways up the glove. Let's go ahead and rough out the circuit with our components we have ready. First off, let's go ahead and take the 9-volt battery terminal and place it here. Let's now connect this long end to this shorter end here, because again, we want enough wire to make it all the way up the glove. And since this is going to be the negative side, let's connect this to the negative side of the boost converter here, which is the green wire. Now simply all we have to do is connect the red wire to the other red wire. And in essence, this is our circuit right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some of the excess wire and coil it up into this crevice here. And now that we've done that, making sure that all the open wire leads are wrapped up with electrical tape, let's go ahead and wrap this with electrical tape to hold it in position. There we go, now we have the boost converter wrapped up with just this switch sticking out. Now we're going to want to go ahead and take that glove we talked about earlier and attach this boost converter this way right here to the glove. Now in my case, I'm not planning on making this permanent since I have other uses I want to use for this boost converter here, so that's why I just taped it onto my hand. However, if you're planning on making a more permanent project, you can glue it down or even sew fabric on top of it to hold it in. Now start warming up your hot glue gun because we're going to be using that a lot. I'm going to take these two nails here and use big pliers and a hammer to cut off the tips here so I can use these top heads as terminals. Let's head on out to the outside. Okay, we're outside now, so what I'm going to do is put this plier right here, put it like this, and hit this handle with a hammer. There we go. There's one, it went over there. Let's go ahead and get the other one. There we go, we got our two terminals. Okay, so now that we have these two terminals here, let's go ahead and flip this around and wrap one terminal to one of these shiny wires here. By the way, these shiny wires coming out of the boost converter, those are going to be our high voltage. So let's go ahead and wrap this terminal to this one, and this terminal to this one. Just wrap the wire around it. So I actually ended up putting on a little bit more wire here so I'd have a little bit more room, but I'm going to go ahead and take these two terminals and put a lot of hot glue between my hand and the terminals and glue them right here on the glove. So right here pretty much. Now be sure you put a lot of hot glue because that's going to act as insulation between the terminals and your hand. Otherwise, it'll just end up shocking you and that'll be painful. So put a lot of hot glue on here and we'll be right back with you. Okay, so that took quite a while, but as you can see, we have it glued up with the two terminals there and copious amounts of hot glue in between to make sure we don't shock ourselves. And I've connected up a battery right there, if you can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and touch this momentary switch to see if we can get sparks to fly across there. So let's go ahead and test it out to make sure everything's working. As you can see, everything's working properly, so let's go ahead and do the finishing touches. The first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that the spots where I added the extra wire to get to the terminals, I'm going to add a lot of electrical tape around that to make sure that it doesn't arc over and shock me while I'm using the glove. Okay, so now the plan is going to be to take this momentary switch and attach it to here in a way that I'm going to put a band of electrical tape going around that attaches this to here so that whenever I move my hand up here, it's going to hit the switch and turn it on and off. Alright, so now as you can see when I flex my hand, the momentary switch will switch on and off. So although this looks really terribly done, because it's really kind of in a prototype mode here, as you can see, mainly because I just plan on using the parts for other purposes, but still, let's go ahead and put in the battery and hope it doesn't shock me. Let's test it out in 3, 2, 1. I am really glad that didn't shock me, guys. I am so glad. I can feel it trembling through my hand. If you want to make this project a more permanent thing, you could definitely make it look a ton nicer than this. This is just thrown together just to try and test the purpose out. But this will definitely keep anyone away. It's so loud and very powerful that if you were to touch the person, they would not be having a good day. Now, we've actually made a Taser glove already on my channel. It's not like this one. This one's louder but less powerful, actually. So you can see that video going on here. But that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching the video, and special thanks to the Kurdish Mentor for letting me put this video on his channel. If you want to see more experiments involving electricity and chemistry, head on over to my channel, Keystone Science, where you can see tons of projects that we've done so far, and new videos uploaded weekly. So be safe and have a wonderful day. You're watching Keystone Science, and in today's episode, we're going to show you how to make an easy high voltage power supply.